Hello, I'm Kathy Gapayal, the CEO of the Fathering Project, and I'm thrilled that we've been able to develop a new program for shy dads with the assistance of Stephen Kennedy, founder of Birthing Dads. A big welcome from me.
And a big welcome from me. I'm Stephen Kennedy, and I'm passionate about supporting dads on their journey to fatherhood.
The Fathering Project is the leading social purpose organisation working in over 400 communities across Australia to positively impact and change children's lives. We do this by delivering resources, programs and events specific to the engagement style and needs of dads and father figures via our online channel, our in-schools dads groups and our new special needs community fathering programs. For new dads and dads-to-be, we welcome you to the Fathering Project and look forward to supporting you over the coming years.
Becoming a father is a life-changing event. At Birthing Dads, we support fathers to prepare for the pregnancy and birth so they are better able to support themselves, their partner, and of course their families.
With the help of the Sutherland Shire Council, we joined forces to develop this online series to connect dads, community and support fathers-to-be in the very special period of pre-birth and birthing.
This series, Connected Dads, Connected Communities, is based on scientific research and evidence. The series contains short videos about a dad experiencing the perinatal period. The Fathering Project and Birthing Dads are committed to supporting men on their fatherhood journey, whether it's your first or your last time. Each should be honoured, supported and celebrated.
At the Fathering Project, we explore and research the changing role fathers play in the physical, cognitive and emotional growth and development of their children. This role has changed more in the last half century than at any other time in history. Perhaps the greatest challenge for dads during this time has been their increasing role in childbirth, securing parental leave to share the first weeks or months of this journey, and juggling career goals with family needs. This statistic is amazing. Fathers are now at 95% of births. However, information on how to navigate this emotionally charged time is scarce and not easy to find. So in order to address your needs, we've created these video resources which invite you to consider your level of involvement in the preparation for birth and to highlight some of the potential challenges ahead.
In this series, we talk to experts to answer the all-important question: what role can fathers play in the growth and development of their children, right from the very beginning of pregnancy? We talk to Charlie, a first-time expectant dad, as he transitions into fatherhood. We share in his challenges and anticipation as he plans for one of life's major rites of passage. Charlie's story proves that there is a growing awareness among fathers that pregnancy, birth and parenting is a team effort, and many men are realising the huge role they can and want to play in helping raising their family. And how are you feeling about it all?
Look, I'm feeling really good at the moment. I have my ups and downs. Because Chloe and I are both shift workers. We're both registered nurses. From week to week, our lives change. So the last few days we've been able to see each other. But when I don't see her a lot, when our shifts don't match, I feel like it gets a bit overwhelming thinking about it.
Yeah. Okay.
But right now, in this moment, I'm feeling very positive about it.
That's good. So you've been talking to each other in depth about the pregnancy and the birth and...
Yes, yeah, we have.
Yeah, and so what type of birth are you having? Where are you going to have your baby?
Yeah, so we have decided to have a home birth, which is important to both of us. I didn't have as strong as opinion as my wife did prior, but now that we've met the midwife, and you know you have that continuum of care, you start to start a relationship with them, and you know, me as a nurse, I know that's very important. But I mean, you know, me accessing a service, I've actually sort of seen the benefit of that. So I'm feeling really positive about it, and we've started making things like a bit of a birth plan and and we've got this sort of open dialogue that's happening with the midwife about how we want things to go in birth, and if they don't go the way that we want them, we're making plans on how that might look if we have to go to hospital.
Right, like a contingency, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you mentioned you're a little bit hesitant at first about the home birth. So what was going on for you there?
I was afraid that, you know, I didn't know what to do to support her through the process.
Sure, yeah.
And I thought I would have felt better at a hospital, but now, the more I learn,
Oh, I see, yeah.
I feel like the more I learn, I'd much rather have it in a quiet, safe, familiar environment.
And so what do you think was the thing that kind of, you know, converted your decision? What was it that really, that made you kind of agree in the end?
Speaking to people really helped, especially speaking to Chloe about what she wanted and why she wanted that, and how important it was to her.
That's one of the major things that I think will come out in this conversation right now, and that is all of this process about being a supportive dad, a supportive birth partner, a supportive new father is all about, you know, trying to, particularly during pregnancy and birth, it's all about trying to meet her wishes. Because if there's any kind of upsets in her kind of confidence leading in, then it's going to affect things, you know, as the birth unfolds.
One of the things that's changed in the last 30 years is not just how dads behave, but how much we know about how important dads are. So the idea 30 years ago that all health workers were trained on was that the mum is the key. Her relationship with the baby is the thing that's going to decide how that baby develops in its life. And the dad, well, his role is to support the mum, not drink too much, not be violent, bring in the money, and then he's done his job. And now we know, the research tells us, that's not the picture. The picture now is that what he does with that baby also affects exactly how that baby will develop. And that's not to say the mum's not important and only the dad is. It's not reversing the picture. It's saying that dads also have this amazingly powerful effect, even if they're at work, even if they're not there 24 hours a day. They do have a huge effect from before the pregnancy, but certainly from the birth.
There's a lot more discussion in the health field now around father-inclusive practice, etc. And dads are doing that every day by expecting, and rightly expecting, that they have as equal role in this whole, it's their child as well, and I need to be part of this whole process.
I think that, you know, like any chocolate cake, we have key ingredients, you know, and dads are most definitely a key ingredient, like eggs and flour. You just can't make the best possible environment or situation if you don't have those key ingredients. So I think, you know, you've got to one, want to be involved, and you've got to two, understand that there is a place for you, even if you don't know what that looks like.
It's very normal for fathers to feel terrified and also extremely excited at the same time. So it can be a mixed bag of emotions and concerns.
If you knew going into it that birth just in itself is a marathon, you don't just go into a marathon, you know, you prepare for a marathon. You know, you eat well, you do what exercise you can, you do stuff to train for it, I suppose. Well, we need to start thinking of birth and early parenthood in the same way. You need to do stuff to train for it because it's grueling.
Basically, we're looking to try and build your confidence as you go into birth and parenting and this whole transition. And so we're going to talk to you about hormones, which you seem to know a little bit about already, which is fantastic. A bit of the research and the evidence that says how good outcomes, how birth outcomes are improved by having men involved in the process of preparation and the research and working towards that. And then we'll actually go through some components of that confidence, you know, the things that you have to kind of work towards if there's a bit of lacking in confidence in an area. We'll talk about pregnancy support, which you're already doing and you have been doing for 30 weeks so far. So you're probably an expert at that already.
I don't know about that. But
and then we'll go into birth support. We'll talk a little bit about advocacy and perinatal fatherhood. Finally, then we'll go into some expectations and realities, because if you've got some expectations that aren't being met, that's when we can have some kind of harm.
You're going to probably fall in love in a way that you didn't anticipate, and that even all those great romantic relationships you had on the lead up to this won't have prepared you for. And that's something that blokes often don't, nobody talks to you about that in the lead up to the birth. There'd be jokes about how you're going to lose sleep and nappies and things that'll mean you won't be able to play sport like you used to and things like that. But there's not a lot of talk about how this is going to be the biggest love affair of your life. This is going to be bigger than anything that you've experienced. And that changes men a lot. And they're quite surprised by how enormous this relationship is with that baby.
And so I think that the single greatest thing that fathers can do is get engaged in that process and get engaged with the caregivers and the system that's going to look after their partner and themselves and their baby. Don't worry if there are missed opportunities. Don't worry if you don't get it right each day. Don't worry if things happen that you wished hadn't happened, because you're just a normal human being and those things will happen in a normal life.
Supporting dads to support their partners is really critical, because that's how we keep families strong and resilient and together ultimately, is by keeping that family unit as strong as possible.